Aaron is still the man in Green Bay. Aaron Jones, that is. Welcome to Green and Gold till I'm dead and cold. Welcome to the Sunship Sports Channel, everyone. And as I said, welcome to Green and Gold till I'm dead and cold. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, share the video to all your friends. Let us know how we're doing. Got a lot to talk about today. I would be remiss, though, if I didn't start with last night and the happenings of Monday Night Football. I am a Green Bay Packers fan. I am a professional football fan. I am a college football fan. I'm just a fan in general. What happened to the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers is tragic on a sports level. Obviously, yesterday being 9/11, there were bigger things going on in the world. Obviously, families that are never going to be the same being honored yesterday. But when that game started, no one could have foreseen that 4 plays into it, season's over. The NFL itself poured so much into Aaron going to the Jets. This was Tom leaving New England and going to Tampa Bay. Make no mistake. This is Joe Montana leaving the 49ers and going to the Chiefs. This was at that level. They were on HBO Hard Knocks. Billy Turner and Adrian Amos and Alan Lazard and Tim Boyle and Randall Cobb all joined him in New York. This was a big deal. And now it's just done. Why am I talking about this on a Green Bay Packers podcast? Well, as I said, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, but I'm a football fan first. And Aaron Rodgers meant a lot to the organization and to me. One thing that I would like to say is shame on a lot of you so-called fans out there, especially those of you who are calling yourselves Green Bay Packer fans. This wasn't karma. Aaron didn't deserve this. Listen, nobody was more fed up with Rodgers' antics when he got traded than me. His, darkness retreats and, all the other back and forth with the front office. And he wasn't 100% at fault. I mean, Brian Gutekunst shares some blame for the marriage dissolving, so to speak. There's always two sides to it. But of course, since Aaron is now on another team, fandom sets in. But I saw a lot of just really heinous stuff on all manner of social media about Aaron's injury last night. Serves him right. How dare he leave us? What a diva. His career's over. Good riddance. Listen, how do I put this? That's not only disgusting, despicable, it's the new word the kids use, cringy. It's dumb. If you're a Packers fan, it's dumb. Even if you don't care about the guy himself, it's dumb. You want to know why? Because we wanted Aaron to play 65% of the snaps. If that's all you care about and you don't care about the human being or anything like that, which should be our first and foremost priority. He's a human being with hopes and dreams just like the rest of us. He just happens to be worth about $100 million more than any of us. That first-round draft pick is now a second-round draft pick. He's not going to play a snap the rest of the year. And now we have to root for the Jets to be completely horrible the rest of the year, because if the Jets now go 1-16 the rest of the year, then that second-round draft pick will be closer to the 32nd pick in the draft than the 64th pick in the draft. All right, I'm not going to harp on this too much more, but Green Bay Packer fans, NFL football fans, I don't care if you don't like the guy, but damn it, be better. He's a human being. Some of the stuff I've seen today just is beyond the pale. All right, let's get back to business. And by business, I mean the 38-20 dismantling of the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field by Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones is one of the most dynamic football players in the NFL. hard stop. Hard stop. When I look around the NFL and think, what other running back would I like to have right now? Does Josh Jacobs bring more to the Raiders than Aaron Jones does to the Packers? I don't know. Maybe. Does Austin Eckler bring more to the Los Angeles Chargers than Aaron Jones does the Green Bay Packers? I don't know. Maybe. But Aaron Jones is a Packer through and through. And what he brings to the locker room and the field all at the same time is incredible. So yesterday, he was our leading rusher and our leading receiver. And there's not a better best friend to a young quarterback trying to get his feet wet than a good running game and a dominant offensive line. So the fact that Jordan Love led all quarterbacks, or at least was tied for first with 3 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions, along with 245 yards passing, was in large part due to the fact that he has one of the most dynamic playmakers anywhere, Aaron Jones, and the fact that now here I am getting back into the other topic again, the fact that he has one of the best left tackles, pass blocking left tackles in football in David Bakhtiari. Of course, there were rumors that Big Dave may have been traded to the Jets to protect that blind side of Aaron that Dwayne Brown even admitted. He slipped and he fell, and Leonard Floyd got a free run at Aaron. And then the turf helped take him out as well. But one last comment about that whole situation. If David Bakhtiari had been Aaron's left tackle last night, I don't think Aaron has an Achilles tendon tear. But I'm not going to throw his Achilles tendon tear in the lap of Dwayne Brown. That's not fair. It's football. People get hurt. Later in the game, he could have pivoted wrong and ground his foot into the dirt, except there's no dirt. It's turf. And he's played in Green Bay for years, so he could have done it at any other time. But they need to fix that offensive line in New York. Otherwise, the same thing's going to happen to Zach Wilson. So anyway, back to our boys, the Green Bay Packers. That offensive line played well. David Bakhtiari and Zach Tom is one of the best tackle tandems in football. Elgin Jenkins and John Runyon Jr. is one of the best guard tandems in football. Josh Myers needs a little work, but he's a second-round draft pick out of Ohio State. The talent is there, but Luke Butkus, Adam Stenavich, they need to work with that young man and get him rounded out. But if any organization can train up a member of the offensive line, it's the Green Bay Packers. To put that in perspective, Jordan Love only had 2 quarterback pressures the entire game. The entire game. 2. He sat back there and ate sandwiches and then threw touchdown passes. That's how much time this guy had. Now, I'll gladly admit, the Bears defense, still atrocious. A little bit better in the linebacking core, but when it comes to defensive line, I'm just not impressed. I'm not going to take anything away from the performance, though. This is the NFL, which stands for not for long if you can't protect your quarterback. And Green Bay did a great job. To put that in perspective, oh, by the way, one of those 2 pressures was a sack that Jordan Love made a cardinal mistake and stepped into. He didn't have to get sacked on that play, but it ended up being one because he just walked right into it. He shouldn't have done that. He'll learn. They'll continue to coach him up. They will continue to coach him up. Matt LaFleur will continue to work with him on that stuff. Jordan Love is only going to get better, guys. I mean, he was a first-round draft pick for a reason. They moved up to get him for a reason. He's got all the arm talent in the world. The one thing that you really noticed about him out there, look at the 3rd down conversion percentage. 3rd and 4th down, I mean, ice water. I mean, he was 9 for 16 on 3rd down conversions, 1 for 2 on 4th down conversions. That 4th down conversion to Aaron Jones that Jones took to the house and then kind of came up lame at the end. We'll have to see how he's doing there. That was incredible. He had some really nice passes to guys on third down. And then that unbelievable broken play where he slips and almost gets sacked. And then all of a sudden, Luke Musgrave trips and falls on his butt and catches a huge pass. I mean, some of it is that the Bears are just snake bit and they can't get out of their own way. But some of it, too, is that Green Bay has a very nice roster. And when your quarterback only gets 2 pressures and the opposing quarterback gets 26 pressures, 26 pressures and 4 sacks, what were the quarterback hurries for? I'll have to find that stat for you guys, but he was sacked 4 times, 7 tackles for loss, 6 quarterback hits. I mean, Fields was under duress the whole game. And look, I get that, a lot of people are sitting there feeling like, Fields couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. And I'm not going to deny that the man needs help with his accuracy and staying in the pocket, but his offensive line was missing their best offensive lineman, Tevin Jenkins. And even if he was there, it's still not a good offensive line. It's inexperienced, or it's just not coached as well as Green Bay's is either. The Bears organization as a whole, the organization is not as solid as Green Bay's. But Jordan Love and the offense, without Christian Watson, their deep threat that takes the top off the defense, that doesn't allow the safeties to cheat, didn't play. He still found 8 different receivers for 15 different receptions, 3 touchdowns, an average of 16.3 yards per pass. This was 245 yards rushing. Look, guys, I get he was 15 of 27. He was only 55% passing the ball. We'll work on that. I was impressed with his poise. By the way, his quarterback rating was 123.2. So even though his completion percentage wasn't in the stratosphere, he got the job done. And he got it done when it mattered. 3rd down and 4th down, his percentage was way higher. So let's celebrate. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, it's the Bears. Yeah, but all of you guys were saying they were going to lose to the Bears. A lot of you haters out there, oh, Jordan Love's overrated. They're going to be a 5-win team. That doesn't look like a 5-win team. Matter of fact, ESPN jumped the Packers from 20th all the way to 14th. A consummate critic of all things Green Bay, Colin Cowherd, on his show, The Herd, literally put them in the top 10. Now, he put them at 10, but he's like, hey, there's no denying that this is a dominant offensive line with an extremely talented defense, a great playmaker in Aaron Jones, and a quarterback that looks like he's getting all the help he needs from the offensive coaching staff. Shockingly, I found myself agreeing with Colin Cowherd. So, the offense is only going to get better as these receivers mature and Jordan Love gets more experience in the pocket. Christian Watson comes back from injury. I think sky's the limit. I don't think we really know what the ceiling is yet for what this offense can do once Jordan Love finds his 100% comfort zone and hits his stride. Aaron Jones looks like he's going to be okay. If Aaron Jones stays healthy this year, there's not a lot of defenses that are going to be able to account for him throughout the game. He's just that good of a weapon. I think we have a lot of reasons to be excited about the offense. And now the defense, which I am probably even more excited about. Our defense, as I said, had 4 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 5 passes defense, 6 quarterback hits, and an interception returned for a touchdown by Quay Walker. another one of our Packers that got dinged up and looks like he's in concussion protocol. Not laughing at that, just laughing kind of to myself that sometimes it seems like we're snake bit with all the injuries. Hopefully, Quay Walker is healthy and can play next week. If he can't, Isaiah McDuffie has been doing an excellent job in replacement in that inside backer room when either Quay Walker or Devondre Campbell can't be there. So I don't think we're going to lose a lot. But Quay Walker is obviously a hell of an athlete, and he was a first-round pick for a reason. Another Georgia Bulldog that was a first-round pick was Devontae Wyatt. He was second in the team in pressures from a D tackle. Devontae Wyatt had an extremely good game. 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits, 3 total tackles. That's a good game for a D tackle. That's a really good game for a D tackle. Another guy that I'm happy to see, looks like he's back on track, Darnell Savage. Darnell Savage had an amazing game. He had 10 tackles, five by himself. That brilliant tackle for loss on the screen pass. And folks, sticking with the secondary, I'm just going to come out and say it. Jair Alexander is the best shutdown corner in football. I know there's Sauce Gardner. I know there's others out there, but Jair Alexander, DJ Moore was supposed to be the breakout player for the Bears. He had 2 catches for 25 yards. Jair blanketed him all game long. Everybody's like, the Bears and Fields didn't try to get the ball to DJ Moore. No, they couldn't get the ball to DJ Moore because he was wrapped in the number 23 jersey of Jair Alexander all game long. He couldn't get free. That could be another reason why Justin Fields looked like a fish out of water. Because in training camp and regular practices, the Bears don't have anybody that reaches even close to the level of cornerback that Jair Alexander is. And DJ Moore was beating him like a redheaded stepchild all day long during training camp. So they really didn't have anybody to play Jair during practice. And once they got into the game, it was too late. Keyshawn Nixon, he struggled a little bit at nickel, but he also, he was the second leading tackler next to Darnell Savage with 8. Rasul Douglas played well. Our defensive backs can tackle. Our top 3 tacklers were defensive backs. Darnell Savage, Keyshawn Nixon, Rasul Douglas. They were coming up to the line. And it wasn't because people were getting through the linebackers all game long. It wasn't because of that. The Bears did rush for 122 yards, but 59 of that was Justin Fields on scrambles. So Devondre Campbell, Preston Smith, Isaiah McDuffie, Quay Walker, they were 4, 5, 6, and 7, and they're all linebackers. So they had a great game. Rashawn Gary played third downs. In 10 snaps on third down, he had 5 quarterback pressures. That's insane. That is just ridiculous when you look at him being back for the first time since his ACL injury. Lucas Van Ness, the tackle for loss that he had and the sack against Justin Fields, he's showing people why he's a first-round draft pick. That's a 270-pound man that ran down Justin Fields. Now, it wasn't an out-and-out sprint, but most D linemen can't get an angle on Fields like that. Baby Hercules did. Baby Herc got him. This defense is only going to improve. This defense is only going to improve. Justin Hollins was out there. He made some nice plays. Kenny Clark, half a sack, a couple of quarterback hits. This was great all the way around. Carl Brooks. I told you, this guy's going to be good. Carl Brooks was causing havoc back there as well. This was just an all-around great effort. I could name everybody out there. Kingsley Enagbari had some nice plays. This was a great effort both on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. Kudos to Rich Bisaccia. Yes, we had an interception return for a touchdown on the defensive side of the ball, but Keyshawn Nixon averaged 27.5 yards on the kickoffs. Jalen Reed did an excellent job. 18 yards average on punt returns. Our guys were in their lane. They were blocking the way they should have been. Anders Carlson, 5 for 5 on extra points and a 52-yard field goal. He was perfect. He was perfect. I hope Anders can turn into the second coming, or the little brother version of his big brother Daniel that plays in Las Vegas, who Rich Bisaccia also coached. Rich has known Anders since he was 17 years old. He's going to get him to where he needs to be. And we made the right choice cutting Pat O'Donnell and keeping Daniel Whelan. Daniel Whelan had 2 touchbacks, one inside the 20, had a punt for 68 yards and averaged 49.8 yards. That's good. He's got iron in that leg of his. And it was nice seeing kickoffs go to the back of the end zone and the opposing team not returning everything out to the 40 because Mason Crosby could only get it down to the 11-yard line with his kickoffs. I mean, this was really nice to see. All 3 phases of the game, Green Bay dominated. And the nation took notice. A lot of the naysayers today, now granted, they're giving the offensive line a lot more credit than what, not that I think they deserve. The offensive line deserves all the credit in the world. I know there's a lot of people who say the Eagles have the best offensive line in football. The Lions have the best offensive line in football. Well, I think the Green Bay Packers have definitely thrown their hat in the ring for that, because if you just look at the preseason numbers, Jordan Love was the cleanest quarterback in the entire NFL. Just was. So, later on this week, I am going to preview the Atlanta Falcons. And we've got some work to do because that revamped rush defense of ours is going to be put to the test. Bijan Robinson looks like a youthful version of LaDainian Tomlinson. Tyler Algier was a 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago and had 2 touchdowns on Sunday. That is a 1-2 punch no one wants to deal with. So we will talk about what I think Green Bay should do going into that game, how they should play them, both on the offensive and the defensive sides of the ball. My best wishes to Aaron Rodgers and, yes, the New York Jets. I don't want to see anything like that happen to anybody. Green Bay fans, congratulations. We don't suck. We're actually really good. And we just proved it on Sunday by yet another dominating performance against the Chicago Bears. Jordan Love is now their daddy. Thank you for tuning in. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it to all your friends, leave a comment, and we will see you next time.